Hi everyone, what's up? This is Darren from Fast Track Property, where I change your life and improve your destinations. Today I decided to change this backdrop here, a different environment, because today is the first day of the circuit breaker lockdown. So I'm going to be here for the next 1 month. As you know, real estate business has already been deemed as a non-essential activity. So I decided to change the setting because I think it's more relaxing here. I refrain from actually having any shoots or recording over at my porch area because of the sounds. You can see there's a lot of traffic, and then my father-in-law loves birds, so there's a lot of chirping noises in the background. But I hope this change of view will actually you like it anyway. Alright, so okay, anyway, today I wanted to talk a little bit about how the COVID-19 situation has really affected a lot of us. And before I go into that, I have been looking a lot into crisis fund recently, because I realized that in my course of my journey with many of my customers and even my other customers, a lot of them are really facing a crisis today, right? There's a global crisis going on today, and many of them are very worried. Some of them has also left, or rather asked to leave their jobs, right? So there's no more job security in the market. So if you didn't plan for this in the past, you realize that right now you're going to be pushed up against the wall to make very bad decisions, or rather very heartbreaking decisions, either to sell your assets or to liquidate some of your funds over there. And it's just a very sad situation that I felt that it could be corrected either today or even in the past. If you didn't do it, you should really start doing it today, right? So a little bit understanding of what I'm going to say is that when I speak to some of the self-employed people, right, business owners, and even some of my salespeople, during crises such as now, it's very strange because, as you know, for us, our business and our income derives from our business activities. Yet today, a lot of them choose to reduce their expenses and costs in the business activity, alright, so that they can continue to have a better standard of living. Right? And I really felt this doesn't make sense, because your income is derived from this business. Why do you want to reduce this cost? You should improve the cost, yes, but you rather, if possible, reduce the cost here in your personal expenses. Okay. Alright, so
Hi everyone, this is Darren from Fast Track Property. I did this video a while back, but after reviewing it, I realized that it has still a lot of applications and very relevant in today's market. So here it goes for you to take a look, for you to plan your real estate cycle or property investment better in Singapore, right? And to really help me out, do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Alright, so I've been talking a lot about crisis fund in the past pertaining to your property, am I right? Today I want to go more in depth into it, so you don't understand a little bit of what I personally do for myself in terms of my own planning, and whether it makes sense to you. I hope it makes sense to you. Then you can actually just follow. If you have your own personal planning, that would be good. Alright, so this is what I actually do. Apart from having a crisis fund for every single of my property, at least for the next 1 year, alright, that will be the minimum that I think will be very important, that you're supposed to leave it aside. Apart from that, let's look into personal expenses, right? Personal expenses is one thing that I felt that a lot of us could have easily overlooked. And the worst case is that if you did set aside, you'll be very tempted to use the funds. But do understand what is the meaning of a crisis fund, right? A crisis fund is not an investment, right? It is something to protect you and your loved ones. And it's very, very important that you understand this before we actually move on to what I'm going to talk about next. Alright, so now, personal expenses. Let me just run through with you what is my personal expenses right now, alright, and then what I'm doing about it, and why do I have to set a crisis fund for it. Okay, let me just read off the notes here. So what I have for my personal expenses is, number one, I have my CPF MediSave contribution. Being a self-employed, we have to pay MediSave contribution. We do not have to pay a monthly CPF to our ordinary account and to our special account, but therefore we still need to pay our MediSave. So that comes up to be about $500 a month. Alright, so I actually go on an installment plan which is interest free to give me better cash flow. Okay. Next is for my children's education, right? So their schools and all their other curriculum and extra lessons comes up to be about $3,400 a month. Alright, that will be after subsidy. I drive a car, so I have a petrol cost too. It's averaging plus minus about $700, $100. My car installment that I have is about $1,850. Alright, the cash card expenses that I have is estimated about $400. Then I have a season parking back in Toa Payoh, my office, is about $755 a month. And then I actually cater plus minus for food and entertainment, right? It comes up to about $2,000 a month. Then we have my own income tax that I have to pay. Income tax is about $500. And then parents' allowances, that would be $1,000. SP services for the property that I actually own, right? This is also paid by the tenants, but I subsidize $100 from it. So this is $100. And I have another one which is called my retirement account. So this account is something that I put into a passive investment ETF with OCBC for the past 5 years, and I have actually gyro that amount. It comes up to 1,200 every month. Just either that will be for my children's education or my retirement account. It's something that I had came to a compromise. If you follow my other videos, I was very against putting money into the insurance and buying an education plan. So I then use this to basically appease my wife, right? Okay, so anyway, yeah, so it's $1,200 a month. And then I have a helper that I'm paying about $700 a month. Right, so in total, my monthly expenses for my family comes up to be about, it's just my own, right? Personal, about $12,500 a month. Okay, so now if I know that this is something that I cannot compromise on, especially with you see that mainly some of the items over here actually are fixed. I cannot, unless I want to change my children's school. I don't want to stop their enrichment lessons, or the worst is that when you look at the entire list, if your parents are not well taken care of, or if many of you right now, or rather many family households today, will be speaking to your parents, I believe, to reduce allowances. Alright, so this is very real and it is happening. Therefore, it's so important that today that we all plan for ourselves and our future, and do not depend on our children to take care of us in the future. If you be listening to a 9.3 radio station every morning, you realize that there is always a dialogue about it, whereby they know that I am unable, the children today know that they're unable to really give the parents the comfort that they would like to enjoy in their older years because of all the various challenges that they're going to already face today as a Singaporean young working adult, maintaining a family and buying that property, right? Alright, so this is very sad because a lot of them will be reducing their parents' allowances, right? So in total, 12,500. What I did was that then I put this in total will be about how much? About 150k, right? So this $150,000 will then be accumulated and placed into an account. And normally, what I do with all these credit funds that I'll put it into a FD, right? So this FD, what it does is that it just gives you not a fantastic return, but about 1.70, 1.75 plus minus FD for 12 years or 24 months, right? And a lot of them gives you the interest immediately when you open an account with them. So this is a float whereby it moves around, and then I have this not just for my property, but also my personal expenses, and for my side business that I'm running with my wife, right? So this is now, it is an issue. We are all being locked down already. I'm very, very thankful for the team that I have, that they work night and day for the past 3-4 days to bring all the customers in, right? Before the shutdown today. Today is a Tuesday, whereby they all cannot do their manicure, pedicure, or even eyelashes for the matter. And therefore, my running cost for my business is about $30,000 a month. Because I took about for 12 months, it's about $360,000. So when we did this planning, we started this business many years ago. Every time we increase our fixed expenses, when we employ a new staff, we have better new overheads. We expanded from one store to a second store, having new rentals, right? When we know these are the fixed costs, it's something we cannot compromise on at this moment, right? So we did increase our crisis fund for this business. So I had this money now sitting in the bank, also as a crisis fund, to tide us through these difficult times where the staff are now asking me, they're so worried whether they'll be asked to leave the company, or we will force them on a no pay leave. Alright, so but this team has fought with me and has gone through with us for so many years, and they're really like family. So I kind of reassured them that no, I will not deduct a single cent from your pay, but unfortunately I can't increase your pay, and let's just work and tie this through together so that we're able to survive through this difficult period. But you can just imagine if I didn't have all these funds in place and I didn't do this planning many years ago, how worried I would have been. And I can tell you there is so much temptation, guys. When things are doing very well and you have these funds aside, you're very tempted to spend this money, right? And the discipline, that's where the discipline comes in very strongly. You must actually be very strong-willed in this, whereby you said, no, this is nothing to do with that. I'm not investing money for any other investments, all right? So I have so many friends that tell me that Darren, why are you keeping so much money in the bank under your FD? Is so silly. You can invest in the stock market. Can you imagine if I did that what is the value of my emergency fund today. Okay, so do take note that emergency funds is not something that you want to spend. It's something that you lock away for the longer term to tie up through any unforeseen circumstances like now. All right, and if you had that like I have right now, you realize that you wouldn't be as stressed. Right, I'm a little bit stressed, but I'm not so stressed to the point whereby I have to fire my staff, close my business, worry to pay the mortgages of my the properties that I have. Right, all these will not come in, and you know that you're able to tie this through, and you're able to come out and emerge as a survivor and champion and a winner at the end of COVID-19. Alright? And at the same time, today, if you do not have all this in place, right, please work towards accumulating first. All the other opportunities that your friends are telling you to invest in, whatever ETFs, the US stock market is crazy low right now. Please put your money in. Guys, this is not money that I felt you are able to take the risk. Okay? Please think about your family first, the roof over their head, your children, and I felt that takes more priority. And if you really wanted to do investments, once you settle your crisis funds, every single cent, please invest freely, because this is money that you can hold for the longer term, right? And well, this is what I have to share with you today. I hope that you guys stay sane. All right, I'm gonna pre-warn you first that I have prepared my family that say that this month is going to be the month of a lot of disagreements and quarrels. All right, because we can see each other for more than 12 hours a day. All right, and we just had to keep our calm, our temper down, and be steady. Do not be crazy. Stay healthy. All right, drink more water and vitamin C, and I'll catch up with all of you soon. God bless.